In the summer of 2019, the world watched as a political drama unfolded, its epicenter not in Washington, D.C., but in the heart of Eastern Europe. Ukraine, a fledgling democracy grappling with Russian aggression, found itself caught in a geopolitical tug-of-war. At stake was $391 million in military aid, already approved by Congress, meant to bolster Ukraine's defenses against pro-Russian separatists in the country's east. But the Trump administration made a move that sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles. They froze the aid. The official reason for the delay, as initially presented by the administration, was a concern over corruption within Ukraine. Trump, known for his skepticism of foreign aid, had long voiced his desire for European nations to shoulder more responsibility for Ukraine's security. However, this explanation did little to quell the growing unease among lawmakers from both sides of the aisle. Behind closed doors, whispers of a different motive began to circulate. The aid freeze, some suspected, was not about corruption at all, but leverage. It was a bargaining chip, they alleged, intended to pressure Ukraine into launching an investigation into one of Trump's political rivals, former Vice President Joe Biden and his son, Hunter. The focus on Biden stemmed from his time as vice president in the Obama administration. Hunter Biden, it emerged, had served on the board of Burisma Holdings, a Ukrainian natural gas company, while his father was spearheading U.S. policy towards Ukraine. This, Trump and his allies alleged, presented a clear conflict of interest, suggesting that the elder Biden had used his position to protect his son and Burisma from scrutiny. Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, played a central role in pushing this narrative. He made several trips to Ukraine, meeting with Ukrainian officials and urging them to open an investigation into the Bidens. Giuliani also levied accusations without providing evidence that Joe Biden had pressured Ukraine to fire a prosecutor who had been investigating Burisma. These allegations, while serious, were largely unsubstantiated. Multiple investigations, including one by a Ukrainian prosecutor general appointed after the one Biden allegedly sought to remove, found no evidence of wrongdoing by either Joe or Hunter Biden. Nevertheless, the accusations cast a long shadow over the 2020 presidential election, providing ammunition for Trump and his supporters to attack Biden's character and judgment. The allegations surrounding the Ukraine aid freeze eventually reached a boiling point, leading to the initiation of a formal impeachment inquiry against President Trump in September 2019. The House of Representatives, led by Speaker Nancy Pelosi, accused Trump of abusing the power of his office for personal political gain by pressuring a foreign government to interfere in a U.S. election. The impeachment inquiry centered on a July 25, 2019 phone call between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. In the call, a transcript of which was later released by the White House, Trump asked Zelensky to do us a favor by investigating the Bidens. This request, coupled with the withholding of military aid, formed the crux of the Democrats' case for impeachment. The House of Representatives, largely along party lines, voted to impeach President Trump on 2 articles of impeachment: abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The charges stemmed from Trump's alleged pressure campaign on Ukraine and his subsequent efforts to obstruct the congressional investigation into his actions. However, the Republican-controlled Senate acquitted Trump on both charges in February 2020. Section 4, 2025 New Revelations Surface. Fast forward to 2025, and the specter of the Ukraine scandal continues to loom large. Recent revelations have cast new light on the events of 2019, prompting renewed calls for accountability and raising questions about the long-term implications for U.S. foreign policy. Section 5. A legacy tarnished, the aftermath, and the future. The Ukraine aid scandal left an indelible mark on Trump's presidency, further deepening the partisan divide in Washington and eroding public trust in government. While Trump emerged from the impeachment trial acquitted, his actions strained relations with Ukraine and raised concerns among U.S. allies about the reliability of American commitments abroad.